Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I am going to do a video on how to convert units. This is one of important skill that you need when you're doing word problems. So I'm going to show you basically how to convert from one unit to another, and hopefully this will be helpful. I'm going to start with this idea. On the screen you see I've got two fractions that I'm multiplying. I've got 2 over 8 times 8 over 13. Now, the traditional way of multiplying fractions is you just multiply straight across. So 2 times 8 is 16, and then 8 times 13 is, what is that, 104. Now, I know that I can reduce this because both of these numbers are even, so I know that I can do that. I also know that I can divide by 4 because both of the numbers are divisible by 4. But anyway, now, if I were to do this in the calculator, let's go control divide. If I put in 2 over 8, and then I multiplied that times 8 over 13. Now, the best thing about the calculator is that it will simplify it for you. So it says that if you multiply these two, the product is going to be 2 over 13. Now, we got 16 over 104, but like I said before, we can simplify this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and try this again. Now, here's the key idea, guys. I'm going to say this a couple times. When you're multiplying fractions, you can always simplify any number or letter or unit that's on the top in the numerator and the denominator. So in this case, we have an 8 that's in the numerator and an 8 that's in the denominator. And since we're multiplying fractions, these two will cancel out. So we can just cancel these out, and all we're left with is 2 over 13, which is what we got here. Now, okay, so basically anytime you have a number in the numerator and the denominator of when you're multiplying fractions, or if there's a variable that's in the top and the bottom, you can eliminate it. If there's a unit, you can also do that. But that's the idea that we're going to use. Okay, so let me jump to DeltaMath and let's do a couple examples. Right. So the very first thing that you see here is that we have this convert 6 years into days, and they want us to round it to the nearest whole number. So the very first thing we're going to do, let me get my tablet up here. Can I move this? Okay, there we go. I'm going to move it over here. And then the most important thing is we have 6 years and we want to convert it to days. Right. So that means that we are going to need a conversion. And what we're looking for is something in these conversion factors that has both years and days, and it's this one right here. It says 1 year is equal to 365 days. Now, most of you already knew that, but some of these conversions are a little esoteric, so you might not know them, so you're going to have to use a conversion factor. But anyway, so here's what we're going to do. So first of all, we're going to make this into a fraction, and then we're going to take this conversion factor and we're going to use that and multiply it to convert it into days. The question becomes, what should go on top? Should 1 year be up here? Or should it be 365 days? Well, remember, if the unit is in the denominator and the numerator, then we can cancel them out. So we're going to make sure that we have years down here. So 1 year is equal to 365 days. Now, this is how I know that this is the right way to go, because the years are going to cancel out. And then the only unit that we're going to have left is days, which is what we want. So all we're going to do now is just multiply 6 times 365. So if I get my calculator real quick and do that, if I get my calculator and do that, this is going to be 6 times 365, which is 2,190. So I have to just go back and get my DeltaMath, and I'm just going to put 2,190, and then we're done. So let me submit that. That's all you're doing. All right. So that's how you do it. you want to use the fact that if the unit is in the numerator and the denominator, you can cancel it out. And basically what you have left should be the unit that you want to convert to, okay? Now, this one was pretty simple because you only have to use one conversion factor, but I wanted to show you that sometimes you're going to have to use multiple conversion factors. So right here, so I'm going to get rid of this for now. So it says we have 10 liters and they want us to convert from liters into cups. Right, so I'm going to go and get my iPad. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this. And let's see what we got. So we have, clear that. And let's see, I'm going to go from 10 liters to cups. That's what I want. So now what I'm looking for, is there anything that goes directly? Do I have a conversion factor that goes straight from liters to cups? So I see liters here, I see cups here, but I don't see anything that goes directly from liters to cups. So that means that I'm going to have to do multiple conversion factors. So let me see the best way to go here. Let's see, cups, pints, gallons, liters. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to have to do multiple conversions. So let's just start with this. So I'm going to take this and move it over a little bit. And so I'm going to go, okay, I want this, when I'm done, I want to have just cups. So let me move this over just a little bit, right? I just want to have cups. So I'm going to work backwards. I know that I need cups here. So let me see, which one can I use? So let's say cups to pints. So I'm going to go cups to pints, and then I'm going to go pints to quarts, and then I'm going to go quarts to gallons. And then from gallons, I can go to liters, because this one right here has a conversion from gallons to liters. So I'm going to say unfortunately, but I'm going to have to do a lot of conversions. So right, so I'm going to go pints. And then I'm going to do another conversion. I'm going to go from pints to quarts. So I'm going to put the pints on the top and the quarts go on the bottom. And then let me move this over too, because I think I'm going to need a little bit more space here. All right, so that's it. And then let's see, I'm going to use blue. And then I've got to go from quarts to gallons. So I'm going to go quarts on the top. And then I'll explain, if you don't understand kind of why I'm putting them the way that I am. I'm going to show you by canceling out in a little bit what happens. Let's see, I'm going to use green now. So now I'm going to go from gallons to liters. So I'm going to put gallons on top and I'm going to put liters on the bottom. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and show you what's going to cancel out. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 10 over 1, which is still 10 liters, but now it's a fraction. So now anything that has the units in the top and the bottom I can cancel. So I can cancel liters, I can cancel gallons, I can cancel quarts, I can cancel pints, and I'm left with cups. Now, I need to get the numbers that are associated with each one of these conversion factors. So let's just go back. So it says 1 gallon is equal to 3.75 liters. So I'm going to go 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. All right. 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So I'm going to go 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. And then I'm going to say 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So I'm going to say 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. And then finally, I'm going to say 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So now I've got the conversion factors. The units have already been simplified, so I know it's going to be cups. But now what I need to do is multiply all of these numbers. So it's going to be 10 times 1 times 4. So let me show you what I'm doing. 10 times 1 times 4 times 2 times another 2. That's in the numerator. In the denominator, we're going to have 1 times 3.785. And then we're going to have 1 gallon, so that's 1. And then we're going to have another 1 quart. And then we're going to have another 1 pint. Now, all these ones really don't make a difference, but I'm just showing you that those numbers matter. In this case, they're ones, but if they were something else, we would have to make sure we pay attention to them. Now from here, you just take your calculator and let the calculator be your friend. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stack fraction, and I'm literally going to do this product. 10 times 1 times 4 times 2 times 2, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom, and I'm going to go, I know these ones don't matter, but I'm just putting them in there so you can see the process. 785 times 1 times 1 times 1 again, and then I press enter. And this is what I get. So it's saying that 10 liters is equal to 42.272 blah, blah, blah cups. Now they want us to round it to the nearest tenth. So that means the 2 is what we want, 1 decimal. So you're going to look at the 2, go to the right. It's 5 or above. So this is going to be 42.3. So our answer, let me go back, make sure that you guys see this. So our answer is going to be 42.3 cups. Now we know the units have to be cups. We got that. We round it to the nearest tenth, so that's what we're going to put in here. It's going to be 42.3. Now, the thing that you got to realize is that if you are converting from liters to cups and there's not one conversion factor that goes directly from liters to cups, you got to go get some intermediary conversion factors. So that's what I had to do. And it was involved. So I had to do gallons to liters. And then I did gallons, from gallons to quarts, from quarts to pints, from pints to cups. But I ultimately worked my way back to cups. But remember, the key is you want the unit to be on the top and the bottom so that they can cancel out. That is the most important idea in this whole process. So if you have to do intermediary conversions, make sure you line up the units so that they cancel out. That's the most important thing. Because once you do that, the calculator can handle the numbers. You just have to make sure you do the conversion factors properly. All right, that's it. Now this was a little longer than I had planned, but I'm hoping that you guys get the idea. If not, just talk to me and we can work on it. All right, I'm going to stop and post this.